Good morning, everybody. It is now Monday afternoon here, and we're just getting our day started. I'm picking up some bread, some panecitos, and some café. I think today we're gonna be doing a day trip just outside of Madrid. So we're gonna see if we can catch a bus and get out to Segovia. We had our breakfast, our coffee, and our panecitos, and we are ready to start the day. We're waiting for an Uber to take us to the bus station here, and we're gonna take a bus over to Segovia today and spend a few hours out there, do a little day trip. And there's supposed to be like cool castles and aqueducts and other cool stuff to see there. So it should be pretty exciting.
I'm still waiting for the coffee to hit me, so I'm feeling really tired from yesterday. We got back at like 4, and I just woke up and I was like, hey, we should do a day trip. And so here we are. We bought our tickets 6 minutes before the bus is supposed to leave. Luckily, we were able to navigate it really quick. It seems pretty organized in here, so I just found a long line and boom, they're heading to Segovia at the same time. So now here we are. Yay!
We basically just bought our tickets from a vending machine, and it spits out a bunch of receipts that have the QR codes on it. It doesn't tell you which bus stop or which bus number to go to, so we just kind of ran around the terminal and looked at the screens to see where they were going and at what time, and we were able to find which bus to get on.
So luckily we made it, and we're going to Segovia.
Just made it into Segovia. That was a very easy 1-hour bus ride to get here, about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And the round trip for both of us is only 16 euros, so it's really cheap. We have 4 hours on the ground here. Let's go see what there is to do in Segovia. Like most of the little restaurants here in this town are going to be shutting down pretty soon, so we stopped by to get some food before we continue our journey. Next we're going to be climbing up the aqueducts, and then we're going to go see a couple other sites here in town and just take a look at the view that we have with our lunch. It's pretty interesting to see how drastically restaurant prices change the closer and the further away you get from a big tourist attraction like the aqueducts here. So right next to the aqueducts, everything is 25 euros per plate, and then you walk a little bit further up and it's 20 euros per plate, then you walk a little bit more, 15 euros, and we walk pretty far up ahead, maybe a few hundred meters, and our plates are around 6 euros each instead of 20 or 25 euros each. So always make sure that you're not eating right at the tourist attractions, and we had really good meals too for that price. We just had a good meal there, and our entire meal cost as much as 1 plate at one of the restaurants closer to the aqueducts. Now we're gonna go climb that aqueduct and see what we can see up there. Those aqueducts were built by the Romans almost 2,000 years ago, and they are still standing. It is incredibly impressive to see that in person. When I think of a small European village, this is exactly what I think about, and it is so picturesque. Just every street you walk down looks so nice. We have reached the Plaza Mayor here in Segovia.
And right across from us is the Cathedral here, and it is huge. It's so gorgeous. I've never seen a church that pretty. Honestly, you'll have to see it.
wrapped up in the cathedral, and that building is incredibly impressive. They finished constructing it in the 1550s, and this building is still standing and in great condition today. And it's basically its own little museum. They have a whole museum down in the basement with a lot of paintings from the 1500s. And just all over the church, there's all these little nooks that have crazy impressive art, kind of like the art that we saw in the museum a few days ago. It was only €3 each to get in, and I think that was well worth it. Next up, we are heading to the Castle of Segovia. We saw that there's some kind of mural on the map on the way to the castle, so we're gonna go get ourselves just a little bit lost in a small town. Since it's small, we're never really gonna be fully lost, so this might be a little fun adventure. One side effect is that we've gotten outside of like the main touristy attractions, and we get to just enjoy this quiet little European village.
There's rarely any people on this part of town, and it's just so nice to just enjoy the European agriculture and the streets that I've never seen before, so it's really, really nice.
So I misinterpreted Muralla de Segovia just a little bit. It actually means the Great Fortification Wall of Segovia and an actual like art mural. But behind us you can see the Castle of Segovia, and you can also see their fortification wall from back in the day when this was just the Kingdom of Segovia. This is how they protected themselves. Kind of crazy that we were one turn away from missing all of this, because if we had just taken the main drag down the center of town where Google was suggesting where all the other tourists were, we would have missed all these sites. We just came to the Castle of Segovia, and there are incredible views here.
The castle is so gorgeous. It's straight out of a fairy tale.
It's only €6 per person to get in, but unfortunately we don't have enough time before we have to catch the bus to really go through and enjoy the castle. So we're gonna slowly make our way back through town and see if there's anything else cool to see. Walking off the beaten path worked so well last time, but I think we're gonna do that again to get back to the bus. We have 45 minutes to get back, and it takes about 30 minutes to walk across this entire town, so I think we'll be fine. Famous last words. Almost wrapping up our day here in Segovia. We're really close to the bus stop. I decided to grab a little bit of gelato and a little chocolate-filled pastry before heading back out. So we're gonna sit here at this nice little park and enjoy it for a bit.
The gelato is so good. We got Oreos and coconut, and it tastes homemade. Like, it's really, really good. Overall, we really loved visiting Segovia. It's such a pretty place. It takes you away from Madrid, which is just city. This is a town with really good views and a lot of culture. We highly recommend you guys come and visit here if you get the chance. It's only an hour away from Madrid and very, very much worth it.
This morning, we had never heard the name Segovia before in our lives and had no idea what this place was. But on a whim, we decided, let's hop on a bus and go to Segovia for the day. And here we are, having one of our best days in Spain. It is 8:15 exactly, and we are departing. These buses do not mess around with their schedule. We made it back to Madrid safely. We are going to try and take the metro back home if we can figure this stuff out. And we just got to a dead end, so I don't think we have. That's the one we want. We want number 3. I think we figured out how to buy the ticket. Yay, give me my card back. I didn't steal it.
for 5 stops, which was €1.20 each. But we had to also buy this card, which is like your NFC pass to get onto the train into the stations. And this card was €2.50. And then you reload that with whatever stations or whatever ticket you needed. So we loaded 2 tickets onto this card. If it wasn't for buying this card, it would have been cheaper than Uber, but buying this card, it came out to about the same price. So if you're going to be riding the metro multiple times, then it's definitely worth it to get the card. If you're only going to use it once, I don't really think it was worth it, but oh well, live and you learn. Plaza del Sol is right above us, and we've walked through that place a dozen times now, and had no idea that there was this whole world downstairs just underneath the plaza. Had a nice dinner at a little Italian place right by our house. We're gonna head home now and call it a day. We're both feeling pretty tired. I think this is the earliest that we've ever made it home since we've been here. But we're gonna call it a day and we'll see you all tomorrow.